big concern for all men and women also, because if men are not clear about expressing their emotions, and that too majorly weak emotions, right? I mean negative emotions, weak emotions, wherein like you feel like अरे मैं रो दिया तो कैसे होगा, like we say only there is 28% women in the world who are in leading positions in education, only in education, like IITs, NITs, law, universities, only 28%. In India mein to we have been trying, I am on many advisory panels of good IT industries also. अभी तो कमबैक वाला आ गया है, लाइक आफ्टर 2 kids ओनली प्रोफेशनल लेडीज टेक ब्रेक, कमबैक इंटरव्यू
Yes,
ड्राइव्स स्पेशली
yes,
ओरेकल ने लिया हुआ है, टेक महिंद्रा ले रहा है. उसके
yes,
बाद जेंडर इक्विलिटी मेंटेन करने के लिए, बैलेंस मेंटेन के लिए ओनली लेडीज ड्राइव्स. तो इतना एजुकेट करके रख दो कि वो डिसीजन खुद का ले. आई डोंट वांट पेरेंट्स टू फोर्स डिसीजन ऑन देम, but to make them mature, educated, learned, and smart enough to take a right kind of decision in their life, setting up their goals into this age. This is only the age when they have to set their goals for their career, for their life ahead, for their culture, for their health. For entire, this is the age when like 14, 15 to like 25, 26, 20 something they get married these days. So respect and love are the only two things which men should have. Why men, every human being should have on this planet Earth, that respect and love about everybody around me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to my podcast that is called Men's Talk Town. So, I have been conducting these various very interesting interviews with various eminent personalities, and they have been giving their perspective about what they think of women in their life, how women think, or how we can create a safer space for women by understanding men's mentality. So on this platform, I certainly try to understand how men think, because it's always that a women do get chance to speak a lot of time, but not very often it's men that they get to speak, or they have an exclusive platform where they can express themselves. So, what do you think? Do really men cry, or do they get emotional, or do they have their, that feminine side of their personality, where they do feel, maybe at times unsafe, or even less secured, possible or may not be possible. So let's explore. And on this platform today, I have another very, very, very eminent personality. He is Dr. Vivek Nanoti. So welcome to the show.
Hello, good evening.
And it's absolute pleasure to have you on this show. I'm going to, speak few lines about him, or rather introduce sir. But I think his bio is extensive. It's really vast, and it's very difficult for me to cover in very short time. But I'm going to try. So, Dr. Vivek M. Nanoti, he is Director Engineering LTJSS, that is Lokmanya Tilak Janasanstha Shikshan Sangha, Priyadarshini Group of Institutions, Nagpur. Director PCE Welfare Foundation, Nagpur. He has been member Senate in Rashtriya Tukroji Maharaj Nagpur University from 2017 to 2022, and is a NAC accessor. Qualifications: he is a MSc in Physics and a PhD holder. With 33 years of experience in teaching, research, and administration, he has held eminent positions in technical and education fields. Regarding awards, he's been awarded National Best Teacher Award, Most Promising Engineering College Teacher 2005, Bharat Jyoti Award for Excellence in Education and Research 2012, Outstanding Academic Leader for 2019 by CEGR, Best Active Educator for 2021 by ISTE Maharashtra Goa section. His research work, doctoral work that is under sponsorship of Department of Atomic Energy at BARC Mumbai. He has guided several PhD students. His total publications are 148, copyrights 06, articles in Science Reporter 12, and he has attended 50 professional conferences in India and abroad. He has life membership at various academic institutions and technical institutions. He's traveled extensively all over the world and has headed several projects, eminent projects globally. He's been a corporate trainer since past 15 years, and He has conducted trainings at companies like National Academy of Direct Taxes, SBI Life Insurance, IDBI Bank, Rotary Club, Makeshift, and the list goes on. I think it's like very overwhelming to even read this, but I'm so happy that sir, you are here today, and I would definitely like you to quickly introduce yourself or tell us about your journey.
Thank you so much, Sonali, for inviting me here on this interesting platform. I have been
Pleasure.
doing some podcast, but this topic, men's talk down, yes, yes, wonderful. And when we discuss this thing, I'm excited to uh, be with you and express my own opinion and my opinion about all these points which you have said. See, you have you have given a wonderful introduction already. Beyond this, after into 33 years of education, research, academics, and administration, I mean, all these profiles I have handled for last 33 years. But then last 10-15 years, when I realized that when why my students, their employability is not coming up, why my students are not having entrepreneurship spirit among them, why there is so less in number, then I realized there is one weak area, and that is teachers training, updation of teachers. So teachers need to be updated continuously. It's an era of lifelong learning, which I strongly endorse. So I took this task as a mission, as my passion. I started training the teacher pan India, and you will not believe. I think I must have reached more than 40,000 teachers in last 10 years, online,
My God.
offline.
Wow.
So that has become a passion. I've traveled to 250 cities, 250 renowned institutions, mostly engineering institutions, pan India, and have reached and have taken up the task that I want teachers to get upgraded, updated, get adopted to new teaching styles. So I have developed few modules on research methodology. I have developed few modules on teaching methodology, and rampantly I have giving pan India like Jammu to Uttarakhand to Coimbatore to Kanyakumari to east to west, all over, and it has become such an hobby now. So that's one thing which I would like to express, that teachers training is my passion. Second is, out of this, during my PhD, my PhD project, it was funded by Atomic Energy Commission, and it was like it taught me that I should learn by traveling. Within those span of 3.5 years, 91 to 94, there is 3 years, I did my actual experimental work into 16 world class laboratories, traveling by train those days. 16 world class, including NCL Pune, NPL, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Dhruva Reactor, and Institute of Science Mumbai, and Tata Institute of Fundamental. These are the world class institutions. I traveled there, stayed there for months to continue and carry out my PhD work. So I learned that yes, traveling teaches us a lot, and traveling became my hobby. 3 years, and you can imagine 16 important places I've traveled. So that has become a hobby, and then it got continued. And like last 8-10 years, I opened up, like 2016, I opened up international canvas, and since then I've traveled around what 30 universities, world class universities beyond India, and have worked there, had networked, have collaborative learning, collaborative teaching, training, a lot of activities globally. And I'm sure this learning of mine impacts students the way they needed to get upgraded. I think that is the point. And singing
Absolutely.
is my hobby. I mean, if and social media person, I'm a total social media
Oh,
person.
okay,
Yeah,
great,
and I
great.
must be what 27,000 followers and connections on LinkedIn and other
Sir, more, more. I think actually 40, I think.
media, maybe. So that helps. I believe in networking and collaborations for
Yes.
learning, for teaching, for research. So that is one of the area I believe into. And as an hobby, singing is my hobby.
Wonderful, sir. I think before even we dive into the subject, I think two important points which you have said is upskilling of, your teachers. So because we talk a lot about upskilling of employees, of students, and we give them a lot of certifications and courses. But when it comes to teachers, not so much thought maybe goes into it, and that you have taken up. And second very prominent point you said is about traveling. So traveling, I think practical experiences teaches you, it's the best teacher in the world, and nothing can match that. So wonderful to know about more about you, and that's a great thing. So let's start with our topic of today's podcast. And I'll straight away dive into the first question is who are the women in your life?
यू नो मुझे तो बोलते ही ऐसा मेरा इमेज ऐसा बन गया है कि नानोटी सर मतलब इनके आजू बाजू में ही माय एंटायर लाइफ इज इन्फ्लुएंस्ड विद लेडीज एंड आई
Okay.
टेल यू व्हाई आई मीन आई एम like I have three sisters, three real sisters, like
Okay.
so three
Okay.
siblings at home, one
Uh,
elder and two younger sisters.
younger.
Then
Okay.
I have a strong influence of my mother. She was professor for 35 years in government college, government science college, and like she was, she was an English professor. She was languages head, but Sanskrit topper. So a lot of things I have learned. A lot of impact. मेरे मदर का बहुत सॉलिड इम्पैक्ट है अबाउट स्पीकिंग स्किल्स अबाउट कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अबाउट लव अबाउट आर्ट्स you know can it be, it can be Kalidas because she was fond of Sanskrit. It can be Kalidas, it can be Ramayana Mahabharat, or it can be William Wordsworth or John Keats or William Shakespeare. So love and aesthetic appreciation about these poetries, about literature my mom has taught, and a lot of impact. Of course, my dad was an amazing orator. He was a great pravachanकार, कीर्तनकार. Of course,
Okay.
a bank employee,
Okay.
but a great philosopher. And I have these things in my genes. I feel very fortunate about that. And then I get anxious. I I I'm not patient in doing the things. So God arrange a wife for me who is like मेरे से एकदम अपोजिट. आई लाइक गेट एंशियस. मैं बहुत टेंशन ले लेता हूँ. मेरे को बहुत ही फैस्टिडियस वे में, आई एम फैस्टिडियस, आई वांट टू बी द परफेक्शन, और मेरे को
Okay.
सब कुछ करना है. एंड देन माय वाइफ टीचेस मी लाइक कूल. शी इज एब्सोल्युटली कूल. Extremely positive attitude and patience, so all these qualities which were missing were there to balance my life. And
Right.
so patience, positive thinking, and be calm, be cool. Things will come their own time. It's their time. You cannot have everything in this world. I mean, a lot of things which I aspire for, very impatiently she cools me down. So a lot of learnings from my wife also. My mother is Professor Nilima, and my wife is Mrs. Neeta, and then I have two daughters. So the entire thing is influenced with by women, and I have a lot of respect of that them. My two daughters Shruti and Rucha. The elder one is married and married in and then senior consultant in Oracle. Senior consultant in EY, and younger one is working with Accenture. Both are into IT management and kind of. Elder one is married. I mean, I have learned. I mean, all updation, technology updation. They are my gurus. They will
Right.
teach me, Baba. ये YouTube आपका बहुत हो गया. Like they only taught me how to record YouTube videos, right? In during
Okay.
pandemic, she
Yeah.
taught me how to create YouTube. Like I was getting
Right.
bored sometime. She will tell.
Mhm.
She taught me how to edit, iMovies,
Oh,
edit, how to have a camera,
wonderful.
facing all that. She taught me. Then said कि आता मी नहीं करना. You need to
You
do
need to
it
do it.
yourself. Do it yourself, right? So I started doing that. I uploaded 150 videos on my YouTube channel. You can visit there. Then my younger daughter, again, PP, my generation doesn't have patience of 60 minutes video and 30 minutes video. We can start making reels. And then I started making reels on Instagram, and then I realized, oh, come on, even 50 seconds is sufficient to put forth my 6, 7, 8 important points about the personality thing, like conflict management.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
50 seconds is so fantastic time to give
Yes.
away the messages to my students, and within 1 or 2
Absolutely.
hours you get 10K views. So I'm reaching out with my thought, my mentoring,
Sure. Yes.
to 10,000 students, interested students, because they
Yes.
open it, they watch it only because they want to. And they are not students in my class sitting who have a lot of other agendas. Attendance बनाना है, और अभी मेरा
Absolutely.
एग्जाम में
Absolutely.
सर देखेंगे मेरे को पहली बेंच पे, ऐसा कोई एजेंडा नहीं है. So all adaptability about technology, social media, about learning new things, about a lot of the abbreviations the younger generation use, and I love to get updated. So LOL is what, and GOAT is what, and all those short forms I've learned from my
Yes.
daughters. So my updation ka agenda is with my daughters, being patient with my wife. And then I'm blessed, the first day of my college, I tell you, 1994. Before that, I worked for 3 years in Institute of Science as an my PhD work, and as a ad hoc professor. First day when I joined Priyadarshini, and I entered the department, and I was like, oh, they were total single,
All ladies.
and all five were ladies.
Ladies.
My head of
Yes.
the department, Megha Joshi, and remaining other five ladies, and I was the only male member there. So you can imagine. I mean, I am the perfect person, I think, for for your these interview series, podcast series. So I've learned from them also a lot of leadership skills. I learned because that was my first leader in my life to whom I consider as a role model was a lady. She was my head of the department. So what leadership qualities I could learn, what should not, what I should, entire these things again was some lady with whom from whom I've learned it. So a lot of influence. Then I have a lot of female friends and female colleagues. I could learn many things like a lot of influence and all positive.
So, yes, sir, as you mentioned about the women around you and in different roles, as you mentioned, one thing I really appreciate and I liked is what you said about you being your vulnerability, like you said, that you're anxious or you are fast paced, you get tensed at times. So. You give credit to your partner, that your wife, that ma'am calms you down, or she guides you. Many a times this doesn't happen with men, that even if they are feeling that way, they may not really come up with those kinds of words, or they feel I can say, I don't know if it's ego or if it is that fear of showing their weak side, that if we tell, I feel this way, or I don't feel, no, I feel nervous, I feel scared, I feel angry, then the other person might put you down. So do you think that men really come up with these things, or what do they think when they are not showing their vulnerable side? What goes on into their mind?
I have a very good question, and it has been a big issue, a big concern for all men and women also. Because if men are not clear about expressing their emotions, and that too majorly weak emotions, right? I mean, negative emotions, weak emotions, wherein like you feel like, अरे मैं रो दिया तो कैसे होगा? अरे इतना weak है. Can you not, you are not sustainable to all these things. And I mean, I really feel bad. I saw many men around कि मैं रोता होता नहीं. I mean, what's so pride about रोता नहीं? You
It's an
should cry.
emotion. It's an
You
emotion.
can be emotional. You can cry. Uh, you can express your sorrow very clearly. So men should also learn. I mean, women are like they're more emotional. They say, and so they. I think they may not be able to control their emotions, so they broke down, and they express everything, or maybe exaggerated experiences sometimes. But men will be like controlling, right? That अच्छा ठीक है थोड़ा सा ही रोना है like so many experiences, like there are serious experiences in life when a daughter has lost her dad and when a son has lost her dad, same relation, right? लेकिन that girl, that daughter कितना भी रो सकती है. People will console, people will say कि नहीं नहीं रो ले बेटा, even that condition, रो ले. And when for men you have to control,
Yes, you
exact
have to be
opposite
strong. You have
counseling.
to be strong. You have to
Because
now take over
it's
this.
your responsibility now. What your
Yes.
family will think about that? Exact opposite counseling is done for the same experience, same emotions, same relations, and still opposite counseling. That has come into our genes and traditionally, history wise, whatever. But I feel that yes, we as a member and we in 2024 we must now 2025 चालू हो गया है. So there has to be like we men have some responsibilities that yes, allow them to cry, allow them to express, be annoyed sometimes, shout at sometimes. It's not into the square life, it's not like that. In terms of emotion, EQ balance is one thing, but point is yes, men should learn now to be vulnerable. It's nothing wrong in that. मेरे हाथ से गलती हो सकती है, मैं रो सकता हूँ, एंड मैं ये सब हो सकता है. and it is very natural. It's about not men and women, it's about a human. It's
Women,
about a
exactly.
art, it's
And
about a
I think
art.
it's gender, I mean, as very right, you said a very beautiful point. It's more about being human. And equally, I think the ladies need to understand this, that if they face such a scenario, they also should understand that what's going on in a man's mind. And another question which comes up to my mind is, usually what happens is when a lady enters an office, or when she joins a new job, or she's assigned a project. So she sees, oh my god, amongst the 10 members I'm the only female and 9 are male, or among the 6, 5 are male and I'm the only female. So she feels, maybe uncomfortable. So what was your reaction when, I mean, when you came to know that now you are going to be around with these ladies for the first time, because as you mentioned, that was your first job. And generally we all are comfortable with our clan, we can say, own tribe. Not that we don't interact, but the first experience always is important.
I just tried finding yet who are my type men around the other departments. I was in physics. Like mechanical has got only one lady faculty, mechanical, civil,
Oh,
one or
that is
two lady faculty, and other 12 are male faculty. And then I was searching each other, break me. I'll have tiffin with them, huh? And I'll have that. And then I slowly, like, I felt, it's not like that. I mean, I'm in physics department. This is my people. These are my colleagues. During tiffin, during break, during coffee breaks, we can have informal discussions about our students, about our teaching plans, about our the way we will be handling our students. So all those discussions are restricted to my department. So I should not search for my gender kind and chill out with them and hang out with them. Of course, I have like so many male friends, and like my break time, tea break time was with those guys those days also. Like, but then I realized ki it's not like that. And you very rightly pointed out this thing. Like, I had a survey, one of interviews in my newspaper. They said, like, sir, what must be the reason where the girls have vanished? I said, vanished? It's 50-50 almost, right? Still 49 point something. It's a ratio 50-50. He said, and he gave me, and I have, he published, इतनी बातें हुई हमारी कि हाफ
Hmm.
इंटरव्यू छप गया मेरा लोकमत में.
Oh my
कंटेंट
god.
क्योंकि
Right.
you will not believe it that, like we say, only there is 28% women in the world who are in leading positions in education, only in education, like IITs, NITs, law universities, only 28%. Then we had a survey local. I am from Nagpur, so local survey VNIT has got only 220 girls current batch out of 912 total strength. Everywhere, like, I was so surprised to get these figures. IIT, triple IT Nagpur, triple IT Nagpur has 29 girls and 310 boys. You can believe that. And triple IT is a computer science branch, telecommunication batch, with lady friendly. I mean, nonsense. This is
Yes, I was actually about to come to
this
that question also when you said that
is
mechanical had 12 male and 1 female,
yeah, yeah,
and other branches had, more of female. So that also talks a lot about, our society, or the way education is shaping up in male and female categories. I mean, I think it's going to be a different topic altogether again.
yeah, yeah, it is,
But as you pointed out, yes, that ratio again has been varying. And this survey you're talking about 2024, right?
yeah, yeah.
The
2020,
IIT
2024.
2024. So
Same must
two
be
years
2024
same,
also.
yes. So that's again, I mean, a matter of discussion, that why so less students, female students, and so. So
In 10th and
now
12th merit list, top 10 are girls.
girls, oh
10th
yes,
merit
that
list,
was
12th merit list, top 10 are girls. So all
right.
IITs, NITs should have majority of top
The
position
girls,
girls. But they
yes,
vanish out after 12th standard was a question and the topic of
very
discussion.
very true. Very true. I mean, that's a very thoughtful question, and a matter of research, I would say. So, as you like you mentioned about your career and experiences, so you have traveled globally extensively, and you've been to various parts of the world. So, how have your experience been, or any incidents that you remember where you have faced this kind of little bit of gender bias, or men categorically uh, having any awkward situation with females, or any kind of experience in your teaching field or
Yes, yes,
something
yes.
like
I
that?
mean, it always happens. Like I work into a projects where we have 13 partners from 13 corners of the world.
Okay.
So, I have an extreme male-female relationships, taboo, feminism, definitions of feminism. I
Mhm.
have faced it like anything, and I have 100 examples. I tell you, there are many examples. Like if you go to France, if you go to Germany, and the moment you meet your, colleague partner there, they'll hug you. Immediately it happens. And the lady from, we had some partners from Indonesia. So, and that was a position when we went for a trekking, and it was a very deep thing. So everyone जो नीचे आ जाएगा ऊपर वाले को हाथ दिए बिना वो उतर नहीं सकता, गिर सकता था. It was already 15,000 feet above sea level. We were trekking and it was -2 degree Nepal में. So then
Oh,
everybody who was, you know before the earlier one, he will give a hand and take a. Three of the ladies, I tell you, I will not tell the names, and they were with all that restrictions, and they were like refusing to give hand. They said we will manage whatever way. We said like you are going to fall down now. If you will not hold my hand, you will fall down 15,000 feet and such a steep thing. We have already डेयर कर ली है हमने एक गलत चीज, तो इतना कठिन, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट अकस्टम टू माउंटेनियरिंग एंड ऑल. तो वो किया था. देन वन ऑफ द लेडी केम who was already down 3 steps. I called her up. She supported those three ladies who
extended her hand
refused
in.
to even touch, and then hugging and shaking hands goes far far away. तो इतना डिफरेंस मैंने देखा है ना. और ये, एंड दे आर ऑल professional lady, they're professionally educated, very highly educated, they are holding very important research positions into their organizations. But that, that culture, that history
Culture,
wise,
yes.
that
Yes.
comes, बहुत ही जगह पे. मतलब there was one community where they said, she when we met, I said, what's about family? She said, I have 6 kids. And I say, you are what age? What's your age? She said, I am 34. So said, हमारे हमारे कम्युनिटी में कॉन्सेप्ट ही है 20 में शादी करना और 30 तक 5-6 बच्चे, डन. 30, I'll continue my education, get into my profession, my all kids given for, crash or whatever. Yeah, somebody else will take care, and I'll take over my career. So they're doing great in military, in army, I mean, defense. सब जगह वो जा रहे हैं. तो 20 से 30 की उम्र में all responsibilities with five,
Oh,
6 kids.
actually, so this is very interesting also, because how I see this as, biologically also a female's body, for reproduction, that age, and as we say nowadays, of course, we have various technologies and things coming up, but ideally they used to say that this is the age when you should have kids. But then once you get married and once you have kids, then your career is finished. Is That's what is believed. But
But they
now you
bounce back.
have,
That is
yes,
their planning. That comes
yes,
under
this is
planning.
something very new. Yes.
So 30, if she has done BSc second year, she'll immediately continue BSc final, MSc, PhD. She'll be a scientist in one of the good organizations. All ladies are very highly qualified.
But
And
that means that age limit is also permitted for them,
yeah, I mean that, yes, yes. And that is
because
like,
otherwise, we have these age
yeah,
restrictions
yeah,
at various
इंडिया में तो अभी,
organizations.
या नहीं नहीं, इंडिया में तो वी हैव बीन ट्राइंग. वी आई एम ऑन मेनी एडवाइजरी पैनल्स ऑफ गुड आईटी इंडस्ट्रीज आल्सो. अभी तो कमबैक वाला आ गया है. लाइक आफ्टर 2 kids,
Ah,
मेनली प्रोफेशनल लेडीज टेक ब्रेक. कमबैक इंटरव्यू
yes,
ड्राइव्स स्पेशली
yes,
ओरेकल ने लिया हुआ है, टेक महिंद्रा ले रहा है. उसके
yes,
बाद
yes.
जेंडर इक्विलिटी मेंटेन करने के लिए, बैलेंस मेंटेन के लिए ओनली लेडीज ड्राइव्स. बहुत सारा आ गया अभी. तो अभी तो मतलब वो मेंटेन करने के लिए, पीपल आर लाइक
To
प्लानिंग वेरी
induct
फैंटास्टिक.
more females after their sabbatical, or even after their break, or whatever. Sir, so now that you have said about a global perspective also, with your various positions as you have had several projects, did you have any female head, above you, who has been the boss, and you've been working under female bosses, and how was your experience, and what would you say?
Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, but I couldn't, I was not able to have my immediate boss, except my
Okay.
first boss. Like when the career started, 1994 to 98, I had female boss. But,
Okay.
you know, I was very
After that,
fortunate. She was very caring. She was like, she
okay.
taught me also. She was once upon, like 5 years back, she was my teacher. So she used to be very caring and into teaching and mentoring mode to me. Though I was her colleague, a junior colleague, but she was always into a mentoring mode and always used to teach me and like, you try this, these are the methods. And I was like student teacher. So more of I was lucky कि my boss was my teacher earlier also. So all positive experiences I could collect. In fact, I could learn many things. And then I have like people who are in my team were many ladies. But I remember once, like, we had a deadline, and it was a lady who said कि ठीक है, आज तो मैं घर नहीं जा रही हूँ, ये खत्म करके जब भी खत्म होगा 2 बजे 3 बजे कॉलेज में ही सो जाएंगे, मॉर्निंग आएंगे, पासवर्ड मिलेगा, सबमिट करेंगे, तभी घर जाएंगे. It was a lady, like we were team of like 12 13 people who were working till say late 9 9:30, and
Right.
everything thought of like, let's close now for today, whatever, even after deadline is there. So
Yes.
there was, it was a lady who said, are you like considering we as like we want to run home? No, no, please, we don't want to run away. We will finish this thing 2 3 बजे तक करेंगे. And that work got expanded up to 5:30 in the morning. So three ladies and around 6 7 male faculty. We worked throughout
Right.
night, throughout day, throughout night, 24 hours, and then everything was done.
So,
So
but I think here, like, sorry, I'm like interrupting you. I'm sorry for this. But what thought that comes to my mind is when a female is saying this, I think she 200% trusts her male colleagues around her. I think it's a very coordinated effort. I mean, the kind of behavior or trust which you people must have inculcated at that point of time, or during that time, that must have pushed them, or that must have given them that thought that we can stay back.
yes, 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 yes. Of course,
So a
that
lot,
culture has to be there. That culture,
yes.
that
So I think a lot depends on the behavior of the other person also. I mean, from the male point of. One of the questions which also comes to my mind is that we say nowadays, a lot of pointers are being given to boys. That how do you raise a son? You tell him to respect females. You ask them where he is, at night, or when he respects his family or his sister, then he's going to respect other females. What advice would you give to teenage girls in perspective of their teenage boys? I mean, friends, teenage male friends, how their perspective should be, as you have been into education and these college students. So that's a very vulnerable age. That's an age where they think a lot, they change a lot, they see a lot, they take wrong information, absorb everything. So, I mean, there are certain pointers to boys also. But what my question is, teenage advice to teenage girls with respect to their view towards boys. How that can be healthy or how that can be good.
yes, yes. See, uh, this has very different answers in terms of a class of society. You know, those like the girls who are born and brought up in our families, like they are very clear. It is our mind which talks about like night out with boys means something wrong. Common study
Oh,
with
okay, sir, sorry. I'm going to just interrupt you. When you say different class, if you can,
yes.
mention what types you're mentioning and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
this.
Lower middle class, where
Okay.
parents are not, the parenting is the issue.
Okay.
Parenting and
Okay.
schooling I am addressing to, with respect to
Right.
parents. If
Right.
parents are modern, if they understand the balance between freedom and tight, culture,
Restrictions, yes.
perfect balance of,
Yes.
how
Discipline.
authority and discipline.
Right.
the entire story depends upon this only. More liberty, gone. More discipline, again a revolutionary attitude comes with why you are saying no to me. This is about this. So girls from such families, they are learned, they have a lot of exposure, so they are at par with boys and they will understand. And then we as a parents, we as a teachers, two roles we majorly play, parent and teacher. We must expose girls to maximum kind of knowledge available and the case studies happening around the world. अभी अभी मैं पढ़ा वो कोलकाता केस का ठप्पा लग गया, ही इज द कल्प्रिट, सो गिल्टी पकड़ लिया है, ये हो गया। तो ये सबका एक्सपोजर होना, लर्नेड लड़की कभी भी राइट डिसीजन लेंगी। आई स्ट्रांगली
Very
बिलीव
well
इन
said.
एजुकेशन,
Very well said, sir.
स्ट्रांगली
Very
बिलीव।
well said.
उसको इतना एजुकेट करके रख दो कि वो डिसीजन खुद का ले। आई डोंट वांट parents to force decision on them, but to make them mature, educated, learned, and smart enough to take a right kind of decision in their life, setting up their goals into this age. This is only the age when they have to set their goals for their career, for their life ahead, for their culture, for their health, for entire. This is the age when like 14 15 to like 25 26 27 till they get married these days. So that is, those are the
Absolutely.
10 days, 10 years when everything is to be groomed, everything is to be
Absolutely.
known, learned,
Absolutely.
understood, upskilling, everything happens there. So parents and teachers should take care कि वो बच्ची को इतना लर्नेड बना दीजिए। और लड़कियों एंड ऑल डॉटर्स एंड ऑल गर्ल्स, आई हैव मैसेज, प्लीज बी एब्सोल्युटली, एजुकेशन कैन सेव एनीथिंग, आई टेल यू, इट्स द बिगेस्ट एंड इंपॉर्टेंट टूल्स इन दिस वर्ल्ड। मैं लर्नेड नहीं रहता हूँ या तो मैं गलत सोर्सेस से पढ़ा रहता हूँ, तब मेरे हाथ से गलती होना तय है, तब मेरे ओपिनियन, मेरी डिसीजंस गलत होने के पूरे पूरे चांसेस है। सी आफ्टर ऑल यू कैनॉट इन्फ्लुएंस एनीबडी बियॉन्ड सर्टन लिमिट्स, बट
Absolutely.
एजुकेट देयर इज नो लिमिट, टू मेक देम
Right.
स्मार्ट इनफ देयर इज नो लिमिट। ये काम अगर हमने कर लिया तो गर्ल्स कैन टेक देयर डिसीजंस, राइट डिसीजंस, with their own consideration, their patience, their confidence, their resilience, their patience। वो अपना फ्रेम है यार, हर लड़की का अपना फ्रेम है, वो कितनी लिबर्टी दे सकती है।
And I think that will also change the equation with boys, with their equation with boys. That will be more healthy and more matured, I think, with time. With time. So, as you mentioned, I'm just coming towards the last question of the podcast. That you mentioned that parents needs to be, educated, or parents. It is up to parents how they treat their children. Now, here many a times we have seen in society that a father has a different say, a mother has a different say, and they have different upbringings. So it's very we can say conflicting at times, what they say or what they behave or how they feel. So, what is that one message in general would you want to give to men fraternity, that how they can be more accommodative towards the female clan or toward the female class or their colleagues? It could be starting from their house itself. What thought process should go into their mind, be it any background, any class, educated, non-educated? Because when we talk of eve teasing, it's a girl and a boy. You cannot stop and ask, are you an IIT graduate or are you an unpad? I mean, you are illiterate. So what is that thought process or one thing that you would want to inculcate in men, which will we can create a safe space?
That apnapan in a right perspective, a girl immediately can sense it, and she will feel safe. So respect and love are the only two things which men should have. Why men, every human being should have on this planet Earth, that respect and love about everybody around me. And I tell you the benefit of this. You start this thing. I have like done so many mentoring. The moment you start respecting and loving other people, everybody rather around you, especially girls, because it's in genes. यार अभी 10 जनरेशन हो गए हैं, दे, तो वो जो कल्चर चल रहा था तो उनके लिए थोड़ा ज्यादा सोचना पड़ रहा है। हम जो बोल रहे हैं ना कि आज भी आईआईटी मद्रास में 230 प्रोफेसर है, उसके अगेंस्ट 12 ही लेडी प्रोफेसर हैं। तो हमने विमेन एम्पावरमेंट का जमाना गया, फेमिनिज्म ज्यादा हो रहा है, ये हो ही नहीं सकता। इसकी जरूरत आज भी बहुत है तो इसलिए उनके लिए थोड़ा ज़्यादा रिस्पेक्ट, थोड़ा ज़्यादा प्यार and more consideration and giving opportunities is very, very important. Men should
Important.
always think in a respect and love way, what way they can, you know, give an equal platform for competition, at sometimes
Yes,
even more, जस्ट बिकॉज टू कॉम्पेंसेट. ये तो मतलब वर्ल्ड वाइड बोल रहे हैं ना लोग कि हर जगह वो इम्बैलेंस है, हर जगह हमारे बोलने से कुछ नहीं होता कि 100 साल से विमेन एम्पावरमेंट है आणि सावित्रीबाई फुलेंपासून आहे. आय मीन इट्स नॉट लाईक दॅट.
absolutely.
इट्स नॉट हॅपनिंग. It's not
Absolutely.
happening. That's why every year we are celebrating International Women's Year and all that. So clear cut message is love,
Yes.
respect, be accommodative, absolutely, irrespective of gender. See the qualities, see the
Yes.
knowledge, skills, and competencies in that person as a colleague, as a boss, as a subordinate, or as a family member also. That yes, concentrate on their skills, competencies, knowledge, their behavior, and
Yes.
with respect to these all personality traits, understand and accumulate a correct kind of respect to that lady, to that girl, and you will see this society will be like much better place, to live. That is what I feel.
Absolutely wonderful, beautifully summarized, sir. And this also brings me back to your example, which you gave when the female colleague of yours mentioned that we should stay back and work. So it shows her competency. It shows so it speaks a lot about that particular circumstances, and whatever pointers you have highlighted, being respectful, knowing their talent, knowing their capabilities, and spreading affection and love. I think all this is much required because we are still today, even today, we are facing a lot of issues where women don't feel safe, and we hear a lot of incidences happening in various cities when women are trying to work in corporates. They have to travel late night, they have to take a cab, they have to take a train or whatever. And I think as a society together, it's our responsibility because that
Yes.
is someone's child who is there,
Yes.
working. And you as a and as an individual, as a human being, what responsibility you show. I mean, just by either by teasing them or supporting them. So that's very important. And thank you so much, sir. I think discussion with you can go on and on and on because with your kind of experience and background, this is too short a time.
Right.
And I'll look forward to meeting you again on another episode or something. We'll plan that out. But I'm so thankful to you that you came on the show today. तुम्ही आलात आणि it's absolutely been an honor.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you so much,
My
sir.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
And I loved this program especially, and my lots and lots of best wishes to Flight Lieutenant Sonali for
Thank you.
choosing this topic and going ahead with this kind of podcast talk show. So my all the best wishes. I literally loved the way it went on, like introducing myself to message to women, to men, to the complexities into all. So we flew, it was a very free flowing thing happened. You did it wonderfully, and I truly enjoyed interacting with you. Thank you so much, Sana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Pleasure.